If you are running a business producing 6 or 7 figures a year in revenue and you are personally still working 60 or 70 hours a week, you don't own a company. You own a high demanding job where you are the most stressed out employee. Look, I'm Brooke Plack and I'm a multi 7 figure operator who built an operations empire from scratch in the trenches through raw, hard earned experience. I don't teach business theory. I teach what actually works when you are the one carrying the weight of the team. The only reason I'm able to run my business machines in just 25 hours a week or less is because I stopped panic managing and implemented a ruthless hiring and delegation playbook. But getting here, it wasn't pretty. It required me to completely restructure my team and fire the 3 people who were bottlenecking our growth and holding us back. So today I'm pulling back the curtains on this and showing you how to compress your work week without dropping your standards. So stay to the very end though, because I'm going to share the exact operational strategy that allows you to take a full week off of your business or even a month without letting everything fall apart. So let's get your calendar fixed. But this is only for the established entrepreneur who's probably already making like 200,000 to like 5 million a year or maybe even more. And you feel completely stretched thin and reactive to everything. So if you've already got it together, like this video is probably not going to help you and it's not going to be the best for you. But if you are like I was, especially in the beginning years of building businesses, then you are in the right spot. Okay. And working fewer hours though, isn't just about being lazy. It's an operational necessity. And when you are trapped in the daily execution of your businesses, no one is actually steering the ship. You may have heard the saying, you can't work in your business and on your business at the same time. And sometimes you have to juggle that. Like maybe you lose a staff member or you've got a whole bunch of new customers and you have to step in. So like sometimes I think that can happen, but over the long term, you cannot be in and on the same time. Okay. You have to choose and you have to pick one. And if you really are serious about your business growing, then you have to be working on it and not always in it. All right. So the firing truth that I mentioned at the beginning of the video is upgrading your talent. You can't work 25 hours a week only if you are babysitting task rabbits that require constant management. And that is what I had and what we had to fire and let go and part ways with in our company. People that you really like, but that you genuinely like cannot make growth and progress with simply because their skill sets are capping your company growth. And it doesn't mean that they're bad people. It doesn't mean that you wish bad for them, but you're no longer in alignment with their skill set and where the company is growing. And so you might have to truly make a shift from hiring a pulse to hiring for documented success and documented outcomes. And if you're ready to stop wearing that busy badge and like really start building a sustainable empire, be sure you hit the subscribe button on this video, or otherwise you might not ever see us again in your feed. All right. The second thing is that when you are installing like an operating cadence or like a system, it has to be a strict productivity system, right? So you can't just be like, oh, I think it'd be great if we got like this done. You have to compress all of your leadership skills and your leadership tasks and the things that need to get done into focused, proactive blocks of time. So for me, that's from like 10 to 1 every day. 10 to 1 is where the good work is going to get done. That is when I'm not homeschooling my son. That is when I'm not actively in any of our businesses. I'm at my desk getting my work done because I know that's when my brain is like firing the most. And so there's no reactive firefighting going on. If it's not scheduled, if it's not high level from 10 to 1, it doesn't happen for me. That time of day may be different for you, but a good 3 to 4 hours each day can move your business miles down the road than constantly doing busy work that's making you just feel like you're getting something done, but you're not actually moving the needle. Okay. The next thing I feel like I'm a broken record saying this is you have to move the systems out of your head. So you cannot be the single source of truth for your company. You're going to have to give other people the authority, the autonomy, and the responsibility of taking care of your customers, your systems, your service, whatever their role is. And so the standard operating procedure, like approach that we use, it is no secret. It is exactly something that works, is hyperlinking a Google Doc. So everything is documented and hyperlinked on that Google Doc. And so if it's something that needs to be done more than once, make a video, make a document, make a flow chart, whatever works best for you and your business, but make sure that you are not part of it and it doesn't require calling you again, because you can't keep moving that needle forward and working on the business if you're constantly getting pulled back into where you're at. And then, some business owners feel like that all of this sounds great in theory, but if they only had the time or resources to actually implement it. And that is what I do, is I work with other businesses and other business owners who want to get out of the 60 to 80 hours a week so they can live their life, spend time with their families, do their hobbies, travel, take vacations, and still have a life around their business. And I help them get the systems in place to make that happen. So there's a link in my show notes, not for everybody, but if you are needing help getting that knocked out, so you're not sitting here this time last year going, geez, I watched this girl on YouTube and I really wish I had listened to her. Like, we can make a difference, and we can make a difference now. So in 3 months from now, 6 months from now, like, boom, you knocked it out and you're moving about your way. Okay. It's not something that has to go on for the rest of your life, but it's something you put a few things in place and it really will. Like, it's the blueprint I've used to build business after business that will really make a difference in your life. All right. The last thing I want to tell you before we wrap up this video is like the caveat, like the hard sacrifice caveat. So there is an emotional toll that happens in the brains, the nervous system of business owners and entrepreneurs when you reach a 25-hour work week, right? It means making choices that most people are afraid to. It means having the structural courage to eliminate the bad clients, to simplify a bloated tech stack, and to terminate team members who you may like, but they don't meet your operational standards anymore. And true freedom requires boundaries and not just software. So it sounds like a really great destination, but it does take some work to get there. But I promise you, coming from someone who has been running businesses for 12 years, it is totally worth it to do the work now so you can have the life that you want later. Because true delegation is not just passing off tasks, it's passing off ownership. And if you have to micromanage the outcome, you haven't freed up your time. You've just added another layer to your management. So you can truly build the systems, you can empower your talent, and you can have the courage to step out of the bottleneck and finally start running your businesses like a true CEO instead of letting it run you and your life. Until next time.